Burns now with a cross. This is Vernon! Vernon scores! Grimsby Town is over! Utter delirium at Blundell Park! Charles Vernon! Delivered, Clark Burns, touchdown!
Penalty, great composure. Ryan Boomo, he doesn't miss, does he?
The customary short run up for Brian Mbumo. Stuttering run up, and here's the crossbar! Manchester United are out! Brian Mbumo has rattled the crossbar!
This is TNT Sports' Adam Summerton, and you're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
Right, welcome to this week's episode of Three Fish on the Shirt. We've got with us this week Steve Risley, as always, and Rossi. Hi, chaps, how you doing?
Fucking wonderful.
If there was such a thing as raw dogging in the podcast world, this is it, doing it straight after the match. So, as you'll know by now, if you're a Town fan, Town lost at home 2-0 to Notts County this afternoon, a repeat of last year's fixture result and scoreline. Disappointing afternoon, lads, but there's a bit of football to talk about from earlier in the week first, but we'll come to that. And we've also got a special guest in none other than the Ginger Perlo himself, Craig Disley. So look forward to speaking to him. That'll be a bright point in this week's episode and make it watchable after we've all had a good rant. If you don't already follow us and subscribe on YouTube, please do so. It helps us massively to grow the channel and keeps things moving lovely. So please do that. Just click on subscribe, click the bell icon, and you'll be notified of future episodes. We're also available on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and all those other great places you can get your podcasts in audio format as well. So please bear that in mind if you want to take us with you on your journeys and have a listen. But back to the football this week, guys. We've got two matches to talk about. Shrewsbury away in the week. The Sky televised game. Full programme of Sky televised games, as it turns out. And today's Notts County match. So starting at Shrewsbury away, I had pretty high hopes for that game. I thought that was our chance to get back to winning ways. And it wasn't a great game, was it? It was low on quality. Rossi, what did you make of it?
Yeah, it's what I predicted, isn't it? I thought it'd be a draw. It was a draw. You know, we get the goal for penalty, and that's about it. Yeah, not a lot really happened. We should have had another penalty as well. Didn't get given. The boys did a shift, and then that's about it. Shrewsbury didn't really offer much either, I didn't think. It was, for a neutral, I think it'd be one of them games you won't want to watch again.
Yeah, I think it was, for me, if I'd have been a neutral watching that, it's one of them games where if it was going on your front lawn, you wouldn't open the curtains to watch it, would you? Put it like that. Steve, we missed out on a possible potential second penalty, but the equaliser we conceded was pretty comical, really. I mean, although it was a good finish at the end of the move, it was a bit of a gift, wasn't
Right. Came from tried to do a long throw, didn't he? And he slipped in his hands, and it fell short. And then because of that, they managed to get the ball in the box, and it was a free header. It was a good header, but honestly, the only shot they had on target again. So it's
and that's a massive frustration. I mean, two things about that one: the throw in itself, it slipped out of his hands, flew right up in the air, and we were just stood watching it. I mean, nobody was getting out to it quickly. Rewind a little bit back though. I think it was Tham and Rogers. Now I'm very rarely would advocate hoofing it out, but with a minute to half time, I think it's forgivable to just launch it from there, and there's no need for that throw-in to happen at all. So it just becomes an entirely preventable set of circumstances, which end up leading to a goal. And then, as you rightly point out, and we've said this a number of times this season, how many times we dominated a match in terms of chances, shots on target, and all the rest of it. Conceded one shot on target, and it's been a goal. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad. You can't carry on doing that and get the same results without changing things up.
Yeah, we've got 57% possession, 14 shots, but we had four on target. They had one on target goal. More passes than them, more everything. And then we're just not ruthless. We're just not clinical enough.
Yeah, and I think for me, we then seem to keep doing the same thing with expecting different results. Is that how it feels for you, Ross? What do you make of the way we set up? I mean, we've talked about this in the past, the formations, but if it was you, what would you do? What would you be doing?
I've given up talking about it because it's the same shit.
That kills the podcast, doesn't it? Let's go home. We don't want to talk about it.
It just gets to the point now, and you just feel like you're just talking to the wall, don't you? I think everyone's asking for change. Everything's asking for two up top. Nothing's happening. Artel's stuck in his ways. He wants to do the 4-1-4-1, which is basically what he's using instead of the 4-3-3, which we're used to with him. But it just don't work. It don't work with one up top. Cabe's always isolated if he's up there. Even if Rose is up there, he's isolated. There's no help.
I was going to say, didn't we say the same about Danny Rose in that circumstance as well? It was often the same, wasn't it?
Whether it's Rose or Cabia, it's played to feet. And with Cabia, it shouldn't be played to feet. It should be played behind so he can run onto it. He's got the pace for days.
Yeah. We don't use his pace, do we?
No.
Steve, this is something we touched on this afternoon, wasn't it? The pace of Cabia.
Well,
not using it.
Yeah, he can't hold the ball up very well, and he's small. He's got pace, like Rossi said. So use it, but we're not utilising him. And I sort of feel sorry for him in a way because I know I was shouting at him today. I don't like to shout at players, but he's trying, but he can't hold the ball up. And then
he looked every inch a non-league player today, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just he looked out of his depth.
We look at Jetta and the massive, the big physical presences and that. He hasn't got that, and it's not his fault how big he is, but he needs help.
Sorry, Ross, I cut you off.
No, that's exactly what Steve just said. Is basically what I was going to say. Yeah, he can't, like I say, he can't hold the ball up, and against the teams that are very physical, like County and other teams that we're going to be coming up against, where they play maybe a 3-back and they've got 3 solid centre backs, and Artel's expecting KB to be able to muscle one of them off, but then he's got the other 2 to deal with. He can't muscle one, let alone 3. So I don't know why we're not putting someone up with him to try and counteract it.
And then big centre halves tend not to be. Let's say they've not got the best turning circle. If you're chasing him down and you knock a little ball through for him and he's on his pace, we don't get him clear, do we? Enough. We were at the start of the season. I remember he was tearing Walsall a new arsehole at the start in that away game.
Walsall and then Harrogate game. I think he got in front of their defender and
time and time again.
How the hell did he get there? But we haven't done it since.
But regardless of setup and the way we're setting up, like I said, I said it over and over again. The snap has gone out the team, so I don't know whether they're tiring or they just can't keep it up all season. But the early season form was based on getting in quick, getting the press on, snapping into the tackle, and pinging the ball around quickly. We're just not doing it like that anymore. We're playing all right when we've got the ball.
We're playing well. I think we're playing some decent football, passing and that, but we're just not putting the ball in the back of the net.
The only time I've seen us snap it around, which you've just said about, was Wellstone. When we scored that third goal, that was snappy football. That's what you want from them.
Yeah.
But there seems to be playing against the lower league sides or the lower League 2 sides is where we're supposed to be playing well, which they do. But against, like I say, against the more physical teams, we've just got no chance.
I think Sam Cox at the Wellston game, I think he wanted them to be a bit more physical, and they weren't. But he didn't manage to get on.
Physically, we're not up to it. Physically, we're not. Look today. Looked at their side. They look massive and fast and pacey, and we've got McEachran looks tiny. He's. It
was good. It was good today, though. In fairness to him.
It was, yeah, but
Yeah.
we're not going to. I don't know. It's just one of them
So
things.
we've kind of bled into the game, the Shrewsbury from Shrewsbury into the Notts County game, which is kind of inevitable. But one other thing just to note about the midweek game was the fact that Sky Sports now got this streaming platform going on. Loads of people moaning that they couldn't see the game, and these are people who are paying top dollar for Sky, myself included. Couldn't watch it. It started to play up on the website, which is what I use in the office studio, and so I turned it off and went down to put it on the TV. TV stream was exactly the same. Loads of people on Twitter moaning. I think it's just not good enough. They wonder why people turn to dodgy sticks and the like. It's just not surprising really when they're charging that much for a poor product. So rant over on that score.
Mine was okay though on through the Virgin box.
Yeah.
I had no problems. So I don't know. I have had issues though. Through Virgin.
Yeah. Anyway, but rant over about Sky. Be better, Sky. So on to today then. So after Shrewsbury, we've gone 6 games without a win, 3 draws in those 6, and you're starting to think we need a result now. We're looking for a result against Notts County, and we've come in today, and I was never confident about today. I don't like betting against Town in the sense of the predictor league, unlike some people.
Hearing about,
but. In terms of that, I'd said 1-0 Town, more in hope than expectation, and but I wasn't confident going into today. You certainly weren't, Rossi, predicting spot on 2-0 and Matthew Dennis to score the first goal. What can we say? He's got his crystal ball out.
Yeah.
What was your feeling before the game, Rossi, when you switched it on today to look at?
Yeah, I put my TikToks on as I always do. I even said in that, I did say it was going to be 2-0. I just didn't feel confident at all. They've got 2 good strikers. They've got Jatta and Dennis, who, that Steve said earlier, Jatta especially is a very, very physical.
He's a monster,
bloke.
isn't he? And wearing a big black mask,
pace.
that was unbelievable. That looked scary, didn't he?
Yeah,
I'd be scared looking at that.
Yeah. He's got the pace as well as that. Dennis is a little smaller, but he's got the shooting up, ability, as it showed today. They are missing some players. So Robertson was injured for them. They had Hinchy on the bench, who's come back from loan. Jody Jones was on the bench as well. Usually rips as a new one every time he plays us, but we did if that today because he was on the bench. They did have some injuries, but they didn't really. I don't think. It didn't really hinder them. They played really well still in a way. Was it 2 shots on target and that's about it?
Well, at the game we were talking about at half time. What a decent quality game it was. The fact that both teams were playing football. With more held our own. We were compared with say Shrewsbury, and the first half against Tranmere, which was, I think I described it as a dog with fleas because it was blooming awful. But you didn't feel that today. You didn't feel that, not at half time.
I thought we played well first half. It was all us. It was all in the other half, wasn't it? And then we're getting nowhere. And then that scramble. There was a scramble, which we couldn't see from our end. But we thought, how the hell's that?
The problem is, listening to the calls after the match on the radio on the way home, and from the evidence of our own eyes at the match, we should have had 2 or 3 goals. I've not seen it back, but there was one where I think was it Roos did quite well to save.
There
was I forget the chances now, but there were 2 or 3 occasions where I'm thinking, how's that not gone in? And I was hoping you'd be able to shed some light on it for us at the ground, Rossi, when we text you. And I got 2 messages back, one from you and one from my nephew in Somerset. Hi, Jordan, how are you doing? Expecting a bit of an explanation and description. It just said, how the fucking hell have we not put that in the net? Everybody was thinking the same. And
that's Town all over at the minute.
But we can't keep doing that. We can't keep looking back and going, we scored 50 goals, aren't we, fab? because we scored 7 of them in one game. We had a 3-3 draw against Harrogate. That's 10 goals in 2 of the games. So that means in the other games we've scored a lot less. And there's a cartload of them that are in the Virtue Trophy as well. So although we have scored quite a few goals, when you take it, it would have been better off sharing a few of them around some of the other games. But when you only need to let one shot on target to concede a goal, you're making it harder for yourself, aren't you? So,
it's just one of them. That put you on about with the Roos thing. Yeah, it was a shot. Roos had a really good save, but Majanic then followed it up and not put his foot through it, which he should have done, and it's gone back to Roos, and then he's dived on the ball, and that should have been 1 goal. Second half, they've also had McEachran's put a worldie of a ball across the front of the box, and there's no one on the end of it.
Oh, it's a fantastic ball. Greeny was the closest, I think, at the far post, wasn't he? Sliding in, but we knew he wasn't going to get there by then.
But that's what you need. You need your number 9, who's an out-and-out striker, who is in that place every single time.
But he did that. He did that twice last week. 2 goals. He was in that box, in that 6-yard box.
Why can't he do it every week?
Is it different opposition?
He wasn't in the right place today, KB, half the time. I thought he was. To say Wilston, he was in the right. He was like in the front of the goal, sort of towards the front. He was at the back of the goal, and he's always.
Well, we seem to faff a bit too long when we're bringing it into the box. We don't want to dance around about 5 players, don't we?
I'll tell you what we stopped doing. Well, I think we used to do those. You get towards the penalty area, and then you'd put a little slide pass into the penalty area.
Yeah.
Now we're going out wide again.
Yeah, round like a big arch, isn't it, on the outside?
Did it in the 90 after the second goal went in. They got on the edge of the area, and we were walking out then, but we were looking down the bottom, and they played it wide again. I thought, fucking put it in the box. Try and put a slide rule in the box, like pass. But we stopped doing that now.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
And it's really frustrating. So do you think we got some work to do in the transfer window then?
Yeah, I need a new goalkeeper. Although it won't change the goalie in the transfer window.
No, I don't think so.
There is rumours of a keeper coming in, but I don't know if he'll do a job.
No.
There's Brooks. His name is. Last name is Brooks anyway. He's Gateshead keeper.
All right. That was a week or 2 old, that rumour, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been rumoured to come in, but I mean, whether or not he'd do a job, I don't know. Again, it's non-league. Again, we've got another rumour that Sellers Fleming, who's on loan at Scunny at the minute from Hull. He's supposed to be coming in. He's a 20-year-old striker, 11 games and 5 goals, but
in non-league. KB was
in non-league.
KB was knocking
we need people. We need people that are either League 2 level, who are proven in League 2 or League 1. Really, we don't really want to be going to National League unless they're like hella proof, like Regan Linney at Carlisle. Where before Andy was knocking them in again in National League. I know he's gone to Carlisle and they're in National League again, but I mean they've got the big bucks to pay him, so and that's why he's gone there, and he's doing it again this season with Carlisle. That kind of striker who we know can find the net. Fair enough, but I think KB did it in 1 season for Truro, and then he's not really done much else for Truro other than that. And then we just picked him up. But I don't know what the answer is. I'd love Andy Cook if it was me.
I think Andy Cook on some of them 6-yard box chances, he'd be on the end of them, no doubt.
Yeah, we need somebody who's a proven goal scorer a little bit, to be honest.
But we've been saying that for about 10 years, haven't we? Yeah,
and Danny Rose wasn't in the squad today because he's got a niggle.
Yeah,
he keep getting these niggles, and then I sort of wished I'd asked Craig Disley about that the other night. About did he play through injuries and that when he played? But seem to get a little knock now and they're out. That's it. I don't know.
It was said on when I was watching it. It was said that apparently he's got a hip problem.
Rose.
It's his existing problem.
Existing injury there.
Whatever it's called. His abdominal thing. He's got. Yeah.
But they said he'd be about maybe 1 or 2 weeks out, and that'll be not a lot. But
because it's a painful thing, but it's not a damaged thing. So whilst he'll be in a fair bit of pain, he's not damaged. It's not damaged by the fact that he's in the situation he is. as I understand
It's not-
it anyway. I'm not medical.
It's not like a normal football sort of injury, is
No,
it? Like
no.
a calf
It's-
or a
It's called
hamstring or
pubis dysfunction, and it's the ligament that
Yeah.
goes across the bottom of the abdomen. It gets nipped
Mm.
or trapped, and it's rather than getting damaged, it just hurts. And I say it's something that happens to pregnant women apparently.
Mm.
So yeah, very frustrating. Good crowd again in 7,000, but that's 3 home defeats on the trot at BP. 5 home defeats in 10 league games at BP. It won't be long before the home fans are getting toxic. They were booed off today.
There was a few boos. There weren't many boos today.
Well, there was a booing at full time, and there was a booing when the goal went in.
Not many though. Not many.
It's not. I didn't sense it as toxic yet, but it won't be long.
No. No, it won't be long. But there was it emptied quite quick. So there was a few boos, but not. I've heard it a lot worse than that. But it won't get if we lose any more games. It's going to get toxic.
Yeah, because
Agreed.
It seems to be season after season. It's the home faithful who end up bearing the brunt of the not so good form, aren't they? And
Well, we've lost more at home now than we won, so it's getting a bit. This fortress BP is just it's just not happening.
Come in, here's 3 points and help yourself.
I think I saw a stat earlier saying that I think we've had our last home win was in September in the league.
Yeah. I think we need to. I don't know. Change something so we can. I don't know. I mean, Pim's, like not to expose him a bit more, but let's see what he can do. Let's chance it a bit going forward a bit more and be a bit more exposed at the back maybe. But I don't know.
Do you think we're too predictable and we're too playing too much of a pattern that teams just have to watch us and they know exactly what we're going to do?
I think we're being sussed out a bit, with our Vernon and all that. What he's going to do?
Yeah. I don't think he did a lot again today.
Well, we were disappointed with him today, to be honest.
No, I'd have taken him off.
Yeah, he was lucky to stay on as long as we thought. And just body language, shaking his head quite a bit. You just think you can tell it's not happening for him, and he's not best chuffed with life.
Does he get in January?
I think it was said. I don't know if I said to you or Andy, but when he blazed over again and did something, and I said, well, that's why he's League Two player, because he's not. Yeah. If he could put it in the top corner regularly or not make so many mistakes, he'd be League One player, maybe a bit higher. But
the number of times he overhits the ball is unbelievable.
That's why he's in League Two. Yeah.
Yeah, and Staunton the same. He's got great delivery on him, Staunton as well.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just think, wow, where's that going? I mean, he skied one today. I think it was a shot. Run onto a shot, and then, like I say, second half we allow Dennis to dance around on the edge of the box, no pressure on the ball, no challenge, and as we've seen a number of times from that sort of position, the shot comes in. So Vernon's didn't think he had the greatest of games today either, and like I say, there's a feeling that we've been worked out a little bit, certainly with the way he plays.
It's have a left foot cross, or mainly what he always does is does a few step overs, cuts inside on his right, and just fuck all with it.
Well, I noticed. I mean, Burns looks quite dangerous when he's on the attack, especially in space. And what I like about what he does is he'll hang a ball into the box, a cross that'll hang up. But we ain't got a big bloke to steam in and edit in anyway, so that's a bit of a challenge. But even he was getting into the box today and dancing and running into about 5 players. And with the best will, with the best will in the world, you're not gonna get into a position to score like that.
Yeah, we didn't see Rodgers much today, really, did we? That didn't really stand out. And these little runs into the box, and Burns was having to come in from the wing and beat, like you said, about 2 or 3 players, and then try and get a shot away or pass it.
He did a couple of times, but it wasn't as noticeable as previous weeks.
I thought he was one of our better players today, Burns. He did try to do stuff.
And the subs, we didn't really get a lot of impact from the subs. I didn't I don't think Amalazor didn't really have a lot of impact, and I wasn't sure about Clark Adore going into that left back spot to be wing back, if you like, in the sort of 3-5-2 sort of formation. What did you reckon to that? And he's one of the lone players. What do you think he offers us? Anything much?
I think he does. He just don't play in the wing. They've got him as a winger on the right, I think, where he can play both, but because he's left-footed. But I do prefer him in that centre mid role. He's tricky, and you watch him. I can't remember what game it was now. There was a game where he played in midfield. They put him in centre mid. I think they brought him off the bench, or he started, and you could see he's got bags of potential, especially with the ball at his feet and runs around players, plays the ball through, tries to have a shot. On the wing, he's so isolated. It's like he don't know what he's doing with the ball out on the wing. So I do like him in that centre mid, and obviously we have seen him play some really nice balls through when we've scored to him in beforehand. But I don't mind him, but I think it's one of them players where he's playing in a role that doesn't suit him.
I struggled, to be honest. Other than the nice passes that we saw from him in the early part of the season, there was a couple of games, and I forget which games, he's slide rule passing for a goal or two that we were screaming for now, to be honest. But we're not going to get them from him in the position he was playing today when he came on. The more we huffed and puffed, the less likely he thought we were going to get something, especially after we'd gone one down. So what about other lone players? Are we missing an opportunity? Have we got too many lone players we're not doing anything with? I mean, but Eccleston, I mean, he can't get in the team. So what's the story there, do you think?
Unless he's injured. He's got some sort of injury. I don't know.
He came highly recommended, didn't he? And I thought he was...
I honestly, I think it was just a waste of time. I think it's a waste of wages. I'd love him to play, but he's not going to get ahead of Rodgers because Artell loves him. Especially with playing full-back, he just won't feature because Rodgers is there. Unless Rodgers gets injured, then he might have come in. If we went for a free-back, Eccleston won't get in because he's not a centre-back. So, in my opinion, I don't know why we've got him. It kind of feels like a wasted loan when we could have got someone else in a different position. Casper's the other one. Obviously, we can't see much of him at the minute because of Pim, but to be honest, the way he's playing, I probably wouldn't mind Casper in goal, just see what he's like.
Well, the minute we had a problem with Pim, we got a lone keeper in. What's Casper for? I know there's the whole situation with the, if you've played, if you've got a player who's not played many games or whatever, you can bring an emergency loan in, but why would the emergency loan not be the one that went on the bench? I mean, unless that was the thing. Yeah.
No, I think it's time for him to put Casper in. I'll give him a go. He can't do any worse than Pim, for sake. Because he said today in the Artell interview, did you hear him? He said, Matt Dean said, was their first goal savable? And he said, yeah, it was. So
he basically said it wasn't in the top corner, out of reach. So
you
sort of work it out yourself, didn't he?
Yeah, so give Casper, take him out of the team, Pim, and give Casper a go.
Thing is, Casper's young as well. He's young. He's tall. He's only 19 years old. He's not exactly going to be slow either to get up off the floor compared to what Pim is. You've seen him train. We've seen him play a few games. You can see there is a player there. He's only young. He's inexperienced in a way.
He did the right when he came on when Pim got sent off.
Yeah, I thought he looked nervy, but he was all right.
Well, he was going to be nervous, wasn't he? But he made a save. He made a couple of saves actually.
A couple of good saves, as it turns out.
Nice to see a goalkeeper making a save rather than it go in the back of the net.
I honestly do think with Grimsby, though, the past God knows how many years, the problem we've got is we haven't got a proper number one we can rely on, and we haven't got a proper number 9 we can rely on.
Yeah. And
them two positions, every transfer window, we seem not to bother trying to get a decent player in to try and conquer what we're lacking. January is a bit different. If we get a January signing and it's a permanent one, and that turns out to be a decent one, then fair enough. But summer is where summer transfers is where it's mainly at. It's where you look at what you're going to get. The majority of signings come in the summer, but we get the players in. I was really excited and really happy with the signings we got this window just gone. And I thought, they kept on rolling in and rolling in.
Yeah.
We've got James Sweeney. I think he's played really well when he's played. Obviously, he's got a knock at the minute, but I think he's been good. Cavia's just Cavia's just been Cavia. We didn't know much about him. We had a good season at Truro, and he's come in and he's tried to do a shift.
Came in, didn't he?
Yeah, really good start. And they've got some Jamie Walker. As soon as he signed from Bradford, I think he's got the experience. He knows what League Two is about. He's been promoted with him. The Ags experience to the team, and Jamie Walker's been decent when he's come in. Again, he should be starting. I can't see why he keeps getting dropped. He has to start. He has to start in front of Corey.
Yeah, he's a better footballer than Curry by a mile, so he should be in. The team.
I would have had it the other way around today, I think, and I think
don't understand why he keeps playing Curry.
The performance, I think, kind of justifies that as well. Now, Walker's not any slouch in the midfield, even at 32, is he?
Well, he was saying about
coming out. He was
Curry being
great ball.
Curry's only 22. He is still relatively young, but I can't see him improving massively to be a really good midfielder that scores goals.
Well, he did, but he's not kicking on now, is he? That's the problem.
Yeah, no. I said that he needs to score, I think, 10 goals this season, and I thought he's on for that.
Yeah,
because he's got 3 or 4.
I thought he was 24. You're right. He's 22.
No, he's only 22.
Yeah,
he's just a bit of a. I don't know.
Anyway,
he's a bit like a jigsaw, isn't he? A bit like a jigsaw.
So
we
think we need a keeper and a number 9, even though we've got a number 9. It's a shame because I really wanted Cabia to kick on and carry on what he was doing in the early part of the season. And I think it's a shame we're back in that sort of. Oh Christ, why can't we?
I'll just try and give him some help up there.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I mean,
just give him a.
If you imagine him and Andy Cook up front in the winter transfer window, you'd be happy with that. Right now, you'd snap your hand off if I offered you that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Thing is, if that happened, the Andy Cook and Cavia thing, if he comes in and Cavia's scoring God knows how many goals because of Andy Cook, and we've been slating Cavia all this time, and actually it's not Cavia, it's because we haven't got a formation that suits him. Is Arteta going to turn around and go, oh shit, sorry for the however many months of hurt that we've had because I'm too stubborn to change formation? Would he come out and apologise, or would he say, oh yeah, it's just one of them things, isn't it? Yeah. I think he just needs to realise we do need to up top, and I don't know what it's going to take for him to change his mind. I don't think it will.
I think it was Einstein who said doing the same thing over and over is and expecting a different result is insanity, and I think that's one of the things that frustrates fans, isn't it? When we're playing well, this, that, and the other, we'll keep doing the same thing, but the outcome's the same. And when you get to 1 win in 9, I mean, Christ, it's not that far off. Darryl Clark, who we hear this afternoon, has been sacked after his 10th defeat in a row. Later on, when we talk about that with Craig Disley, we won't be aware of Darryl Clark's situation at that point, so we'll be speculating. But the case in point is, how much credit in the bank has David Artell got?
Well, I love the bloke. I can't fault him as a bloke. As a one with the fans and everything else is involved. I just feel like he needs to broaden his way of thinking, his way. I think he's stuck in his way. Most managers do have their own way. They have their own formations they want to choose, and they'll stick with that and not think about anything else. But I think now's the time. You need to start thinking, right, up 2-2 up top. It's 75th minute today. From 75th minute, he goes 2 up top. And I do think we had a lot more chances with 2 up top from the 75th minute than we did beforehand. Surely you can see it. He's one of these for data and stats. Surely they say, right, we've changed it from 75th minute 2 up top. Let's see what the stats wise say compared to what it was like when we had 1 up top. And surely it's got to be better off.
But I think with us following the sort of data stuff now quite heavily, and that's partly down to recruitment and what have you. We do that. there is only one stat that the fans are interested in. That's the W on the Saturday, isn't it? And 1 in 9, no wins in 7, and 3 draws, 8 points from 21.
Yeah.
Isn't great on the data front, is it? From a fan's perspective. I sensed in. Sorry, Steve. I was going to say I sensed in Artel's interview tonight that he was pretty pissed off tonight.
Oh, I got that. Definitely, he's pissed off. Yeah, definitely, he's not. He wasn't happy bunny at all. He's not going to be. 'Cause he wants to win, doesn't he?
I'm with Rossi though. I'm massively Artelian. I'm not anywhere near.
No, God no.
I think there'll be people starting to talk about it now.
Everybody is.
Yeah. There's some idiots online already talking about Artel getting him out. What?
Yeah, I don't get that one bit. But
No.
That's why I asked the question, because I know it'll be one of them things out there. So we're as far as the Three Fish podcast is concerned, we're officially Artelin 100%, no qualms.
Yeah. Oh,
but please,
absolutely.
Please, David, turn it around quickly.
No, we'd love you to come on the podcast, Dave.
Yeah.
Always scared of him, I don't know if he will.
We're not doing fly on the wall documentaries. We now know from Polly. So
see where we end of this season, where we are, if we finish below what we did last year, and then you can think about it, can't you? But
I'm a long way off. Any issues with David Artel, definitely, because I think he has learnt in the past that there's a time to have a summit with your team and make a change, and he did against some of his principals last season before last, in his first season here, when we got in a bit of a rut, getting done 5-1, 6-1 at home, and they had some soul searching, they did some stuff, and they pulled it round.
I did see something today saying that what's going to change. Since Artel's come in, the 2 years he's been here, nothing's changed. We're still the same that we were before he come in, but we weren't, because we were last season we were battling for playoffs and we just missed out.
Yeah.
The seasons before we weren't really anywhere near.
No.
Whilst we've been in League Two, so I don't know where what fans are thinking that, because his first full season with us. Obviously, when he first come, we were relegation fodder, weren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And then his first full season, he's we just missed out on playoffs. So that's not bad at all.
No.
Could have been a lot worse. So I think fans just need to remember that. Remember last season where we just missed out, but we had a good season overall in a way from where we were before last season. Before that, so I think everyone we just need to back him. We are going to get frustrated. And we are going to have our opinions and everything else. And obviously, I do still won't get too up top, and I don't think I'm not I'm not the only one that thinks that. But
and I think
it's not up to us at the end of the day.
That space. I've just got the highlights in front of me now, and the shot where Vernon gets a cross in, and Burns, I think it is. I think KB gets a header on it, and then Burns skies it over the bar. Again, if you've got somebody attacking that 6-yard box, Fox in the box, it's cracking. Pim for the goal looks like he goes down in installments.
We just need somebody.
Anybody who's watched us play at home, all you'd be thinking was, what all you got to do is have a shot from there, curl it around a player, and he's not going to see it.
Yeah.
And then I'm just looking at Tharm now. Oh, yeah, he's turned to try and get the ball back to Pim, hasn't he? And Pim,
he's just didn't put much on it.
He's just done Pim, hasn't he? Yeah. So disappointing all round. But where do we go from here? We go to next week, Bromley, which is not an easy place to go. We won there 2-0 last year, but this year, every game at home, they scored at least 2 goals. And in a couple of the games they haven't scored 2 goals, they scored 3 goals. They haven't always won. I think they won 1-3-1 and drew 1-3 all. But other than that, they're at home. They're good. We're going to have to be on our mettle next week to beat Bromley. What's your thoughts on that, Ross?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. It's another big game. But I said earlier, someone else, Bromley, especially, are a very, very, very physical side. Their players are huge. Cabia struggles against Notts. He's going to struggle against Bromley's centre backs. One of them's like scoring for fun at centre back. He's a unit. So is the other centre back. And they are just a big team, Bromley. They've got so many tall players. Michael Cheek's obviously a goal threat as well. They've got Ethan, and they've got Pinnock in the middle, who runs midfield. And it's going to be a tough game. I've done my prediction already, but I don't think it'll be a good one unless we turn up, and unless, in my opinion, we do have the two up top. Then I think we can maybe get a result, but I'm very sceptical. I'm not sure.
So where's your prediction at for next week then?
3-1 Bromley.
Right.
They just can't stop scoring, can they?
First scorer?
I think it'll be Bromley because I can't see it being us first. I think they'll go 2-0 up, then we'll get one back. We'll get Michael Cheek.
Steve?
I don't care.
You do care. You do care.
No. Where else is going?
What are you thinking?
I don't bet against Town, but I'll go draw 1-1.
I'd love a draw.
1-1 draw. That'd be a decent result there, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Burnham.
Unlike Shrewsbury.
Burnham penalty. We'll go 1-0 up, Burnham penalty, and then they'll equalise.
I'm going to go 2-1.
It's the only way we can score, isn't it, penalties?
And I'm going to say
2-1 to who?
Town. I'm going to go Green. So that's the full house for next week. Rossi is currently well ahead in the chart for the Prediction League at the minute. If we have a look at that now, Ross is seven games in, got 3 fully correct scores, and 3 bonus points for first scorers on 15 points. I'm next on 2 correct scores and 1 bonus point, which is 8 points. And Steve is yet to get off the mark with a fully correct score. He managed to predict the Weldstone game as a Town win. That's his only point. So plenty of room for improvement, Steve. On your
It's a marathon.
prediction
It's not
front.
a sprint.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's-
We'll remember that at the end of the season. We'll play this clip back to you when we see the final table.
And
So,
by the way, just for listeners, I don't like going against Town.
No.
I don't mean to go against Town, but I've just got to see what I can see in front of me. And at the minute, we're struggling.
get it. Completely get that. And by the way, you're well ahead, so you're more right than anybody else. So we can say that. Any other news kicking about the place before we finish for this week, and we move on to our interview with the Great Town former captain Craig Disley. Anything else to cover in the weekly business? Darryl Clark's got the tin tack, as we know. 10 games. It was the news was released about an hour ago. We were looking at this at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, and it was about 6:30, 7:15, I think, was the news came out.
After Swindon beating them.
Yeah.
Holloway returned.
Yeah, you had to go. There's one thing. I had not a rant, but I don't know what you call it, on TikTok today. It come out, I think it was yesterday, the day before. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The FA Cup TV schedule.
Oh yeah.
That's come out, and I can't believe it.
Wrexham are on again. What a surprise.
Wrexham Forest is on. There's 2 Premier League ties, with Brighton versus Man United and Tottenham versus Villa. They don't need to be on. But they say they say it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't get why. I don't care that we're not on TV. I'm not arsed about that. We've been on TV already this season.
You feel for
But the
Western
fact that
Supermare a bit,
Western Supermare are the lowest ranked in the competition still.
And it's
they're not
1,000 miles from home as well, nearly.
Yeah. And
I
they're not
agree.
getting
I
any,
agree. I thought
TV
that would
time.
been on. Yeah, because you can see Premier League every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's disappointing that.
I don't
It's
know
not
why.
right,
I
it's not
agree.
fair.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But Rex, yeah.
Disappointing. I was
I think
surprised
Wrexham
that
have
Hollywood FC are on again, which is no great shakes. So Daryl Clark's been sacked. The other thing my daughter's in Porto, and they were out till the wee small hours last night, and she was showing some Portuguese people the podcast. So we've been played out live on the streets of Portugal last night in Porto, and we've got a new Portuguese fan who's signed up. He's a Man U fan. He's promised to look at the Manchester United episodes, so that'll cheer him up, won't it? It's Miguel, and he is from Porto. So hello, Miguel. Nice to see you.
Hi, Miguel.
And we'll relish the fact that we're beamed live across Europe now, as well as to our friends and loyal listeners and watchers on YouTube. So we'll go back to a bit of better news and cheer ourselves up with a good long hour's worth of interview with Craig Disley. It's really really good to speak to him, and we'll come back after this short interlude.
This is John Sander. You're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
Welcome back after that short interlude. We've got another very special guest. This episode is none other than former Mariners captain Craig Disley. Hi, Craig. Welcome.
Hi, guys. You all right?
Yes, thanks to you.
Not bad.
Yeah, very well. Can't complain.
Good. It's great to see you, and thanks for coming on to see us. You had a good 6 years at the Mariners. What are your key memories from town?
I think obviously the biggest one would be promotion, wouldn't it? Having such a roller coaster ride, trying to get to that point with the playoff defeats, etc., leading up to it. Obviously the penalty shootout against Bristol Rovers the year before, which was probably one of the hardest days in my football career. And then to get the win the year after at Wembley, I think it's it's the highlight of my career without a doubt. And it takes some beating, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll no doubt come back to that and cover that period in your career in a little while. But for the second football guest running, we've got a Mansfield area born Mansfield player starting at Mansfield. We had Nathan Arnold on last week, and Nathan obviously kicked off at Mansfield, as did you. And you had a good 5 years there to kick your career off. How was your time at Mansfield? What memories have you got of that?
Yeah, loved it. Obviously, it was pretty much my hometown club. So when you lucky enough to get a YTS scholarship after finishing school, did my 2-year scholarship and was lucky enough to get a pro contract there. Really enjoyed my time. It was never a dull moment. We had promotions, relegations, playoff final defeats, and it was quite a big thing for myself to leave the club. I was offered a new contract, but it was on less money, and obviously that meant I could go on to Bosman to Bristol Rovers in the end. It was obviously a big decision, uprooting the family, because I had a partner and a young baby at the time. So to take the move to Bristol was a big thing, but obviously that worked out in my favour as well. But no, I had a great time at Mansfield. It was a real good, start to my career and a place I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and one of the things we've noticed about when talking to ex-players on the pod is that as fans we sometimes forget that you're working men and the sort of trials and tribulations of changing your job more often than most of us possibly do, and certainly the moves to location are much more of a challenge, and we don't think of it. It's just so and so's moved from here to there, but Mansfield to Bristol's a good trek. So onto that in a sec. Who brought you in at Mansfield, and who was the sort of manager who sort of kicked your career off?
Well, Steve Parkin was he gave me my first pro contract, and then it's a long time. I can't remember during the summer that I was due to come back. He actually left the club,
right,
for whatever reason, and Billy did and took charge of when I was a first year pro, and Billy was absolutely different class. I think it was a couple of years before I sort of broke into the first team properly, but he was fantastic for myself and all the younger players, because we had a really young squad. The likes of Liam Lawrence, Lee Williamson, Bobby Assel just all broke through into the first team at the same time. And then Billy left, and obviously Stuart Watkins took over, who's obviously someone you know really well, and he to get us to promotion in his first season. So Billy and Stuart are definitely people that big influences in my career as well.
Yeah, and it's important those early years are often the most formative, aren't they? And so, as you say, you had a tough decision to make to go down all the way down to Bristol Rovers. How did that move come about? What was the story behind that?
Obviously, I had an agent at the time, and Ian Atkins, who was the Bristol Rovers manager, got in touch. So we decided to go down to Bristol and meet him. And to be fair, he sold the club to me straight away. They had plans for a new grounds, new training facility, which in the end never quite came to fruition, as sometimes it doesn't. But it's just sort of a case of there. Then we made a decision. I was like, let's just go for it. And you probably at the time don't really think about what that entails in terms of uprooting and selling your house, buying a new house, etc. But I think I was 21, 22 at the time, so it was a big decision, but again, one that paid off, and we thoroughly enjoyed our time down there. Yeah,
it's a nice part of the world. There's lots of nice countryside down that way, and he's played over 200 games for Bristol Rovers. What are your big memories of playing for Bristol Rovers? What do you remember of that?
Obviously, it was again would be a Wembley promotion, and we also got to the JPT final at the Millennium Stadium in the same season. Unfortunately, we lost to Doncaster on that occasion, but it was again to win at Wembley is unbelievable. And then after that, I had a couple of decent seasons in League One with Bristol Rovers. So thoroughly enjoyed my time down there. Managed to score a few goals and play well on the whole. And obviously it was a bit of a blow when I was not offered a new contract down in Bristol, because I was gutted at the time to leave, and it's not something that I wanted, but that was part and parcel of football. The manager thought he was building a team for the Championship, and in the end it backfired a little bit, and they ended up back in non-league a few years after.
Yeah, as we know to our cost come 2015, but interestingly, it's very, very cyclical football, isn't it? And like I say, players fall in and out of favour. And you then move on to Shrewsbury for it's a couple of years, but probably a season's worth of games. Was Shrewsbury still at Shrewsbury moved by then?
Yeah, there was in the stadium, so I had a couple of years there. And I've got nothing but good things to say about the club, but it just didn't work. I think I had my whole career's injuries in them 2 years at Shrewsbury, so it wasn't quite to be. But again, I've got nothing but good things to say about the club. I think in terms of regret, I think it's probably that I never really did myself justice in the time that I was there. I think.
Yeah, but coming to the bit we're more than interested in is your time at Town. You came over to Town in 2011 and spent 6 years there. We briefly touched on the end of it. I'm always interested how moves come about, and so what was the driving force behind the move to Grimsby then? Because it's when his eyebrows raised, didn't they? Grimsby, that's a bit of an outpost, What was the thinking there?
I'm not going to lie to you. When it first came to me, I was like, because I fully thought that I would be able to stay in the Football League, to be honest, because I'd played my career there, and you sort of think somebody else would come calling, but Ian Sharps, who was a teammate of Paul Hurst at Rotherham, sort of got me in touch with Hursty, and I had a chat with him and Rob. Decided to come down and meet them both, and it was a no-brainer for me, really. It was I met them, and they had the same beliefs and things that I did, and I could see it was a massive club. I always enjoyed playing at Grimsby in the past as well, and it was, like I say, it was a no-brainer, really, and we pretty much got it sorted straight away and off from there.
It's a bit of an obvious question, but is it difficult to make that step down, or is that something that the club can make easy by selling you the dream, if you like.
Yeah, I think it's difficult. I think because as a footballer, you don't want to drop out of the football league because that's your bread and butter, really, isn't it? And but I think if it had been any other club, I don't think I would have done it because, if you're going to drop into a non-league, you want to drop into a side that's going to be up there fighting and a big name in that division. And I think obviously Grimsby were a huge team in that league. So it was maybe a little risk, but I had no qualms in signing. And it was like I say, thankfully it turned out for the good.
We're more than pleased that you did. So thanks for that. And I think one of the surprising things about the area is, and I've often said this, Steve and I have supported Town since the late 70s. Not that we look old enough to have watched football in those days, but one of the features of Grimsby is you think, it sounds a bit of an outpost, sounds a bit grim and all that. Actually, you're not far from rural Lincolnshire, and a lot of players stay. And I know you've stayed relatively local. What was that? Is that a surprise to you now that you came and ended up making your home here? Yeah,
well, like you say, I think Grimsby might get a bad reputation, and there's no need for that. It's a great place. The people are great, and I think it's like anywhere in the country, they're going to get good parts. You get parts. It's as simple as that. So, I'm based in Market Raisin now. We've been here since I signed at the club. It was sort of an in between from where my parents are and the club. So,
perfect.
It sort of worked perfectly, and we're settled now. The kids are settled, and it's a great place to live. Excellent.
Yeah, but say from the years that Steve and I started watching, a lot of the players from that era, came from far and wide, but still ended up in the area. So we must have something going for us.
It says about the place, so
certainly have. Just coming on to your Town career, then. So you had 6 great years, 200 odd appearances, 30 odd goals. How did you take to becoming the captain? Had you been a captain at a club before? What's your ethos as a captain and sort of leader of men, if you like?
Yeah, I'd had the odd occasion where I was at Bristol Rovers where I'd been captain. So I think when I came into the club, it's obviously a little bit of pressure coming onto you as captain because you're the one that's got to lead by example. But I think in terms of a captain, I wasn't a shouter. I wasn't really someone who get irate with the players, but I was someone I would like to think would lead by example on the pitch and organise that way. So it came with added pressure. It also came with the second game in when we got beat 5-0 at Braintree was a bit of a shock to the system, and that was with social media being how it was then, it was sort of just started getting into social media. So that was interesting reading some.
How easy is it to brush that stuff off, Craig? Because again, it's easy for us to sort of pick the phone up after a match and say, "Well, that was crap. So and so should have done better," and all this, that, and the other. What's that like as players? We never really understand it.
Yeah, it's hard. I think. I think for every 100 comments that are positive and you get one negative, you focus on the negative comment, and it's something that'll just play in your brain over and over again. So I think I learned early in my career. I used to go on message boards, etc. when I first started playing, and I soon learned that's not doing. So you could think you had a great game, and then you'd go on there and be like, "What?" So
and there's not necessarily a lot of rationale behind fans' views of games. It's you have your favourites, there's some players just seem to get a slate in however they've played, don't they? But it's we forget there's human beings at the end of it sometimes. Not us personally, but some fans do. So obviously it was probably uphill from there. I remember a lot of Town fans kind of picked that Braintree defeat out as us being well and truly non-leagued, and welcome to the world of football outside.
The Town fans singing "We're getting beat by the Plumbers," I think it was.
Yeah, it was clear as day. I don't have a lot of things in my memory, but I remember that day, and it was
But it was all uphill from there. I think there was a few bumps in the road, but we got used to sort of the lie of the land, and actually the league, having been regularly referred to as non-league, was was pretty much like a Division 5. The clubs that were literally in that division then were like league clubs, weren't they? And so it wasn't an easy task because everybody wanted out. How tough is it?
Yeah, it's obviously with the just one going up as champions and then the other team for the playoffs. And like you say, people have been down there, the likes of Wrexham, who was stuck down there for, what was it, 14, 15 years, whatever. It's
14 years.
Very, very tough league to get out of. I think it's...
We gave them an extra year.
Yeah. The fact that when we bounced back first time a few years ago, I think that was a testament to Hursty and how good an achievement that was to come straight back up, because it is really tough. Obviously the money situation that as well, when you lose the money when you drop out of the league. So yes, it's a very tough league to get out of, and say thankfully that's hopefully not something we need to worry about in the future anymore.
I mean, Paul Hurst's teams dragged us up to the top end of that division without us quite getting there. There was some near misses and some games in the playoffs where we looked like we were going to do it and then didn't. Gateshead was a particular one I think you scored in that game, and James McEwen had a bit of a nightmare, didn't he, with his Rick that he had, bless him. But eventually we get to the situation where we're playing Bristol Rovers in the final. We got off to a cracking start in that game, didn't we? With Nathan Arnold playing the shop in. And we gave a really good account of ourselves. It just couldn't quite get it over the line. Went down 5-3 on penalties, and I sensed from you talking about it, you found that was a really tough day, and it was for all of us. But how bad is that when you've put everything into a game like that?
Yeah, I think especially. I think we all thought we did enough to win the game. Obviously, the issue that we maybe thought the keeper should have been sent off early on as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you think you're 1-0 up against 10 men, you're only going to be the favourites from there. So it was even when we went to penalties, I think myself I was convinced we were going to win the game and get promoted that year, but it wasn't to be. It's a lot of reason that penalty shootout, and it was very tough to take. It was I think it's probably the hardest day I've had as a player. It took a while to get over. It took a few beers, I think, for a few weeks after to try and get over it. But then I think the fact that we did ourselves proud, and as a club, if you get beat in the playoff final, you don't expect everyone to be so positive about it. If you understand what I'm saying. And obviously, Operation Promotion, and that came after that. Yeah. Which was incredible. So out of adversity came something very positive, I think. Yeah, and
you get the sense of that people are behind you rather than moaning about it. I think that was a good feature of that game, wasn't it? That although
whole year, the sort of when we did the wigs at Woking, etc., and all the inflatables and stuff like that, the sort of the bond between the fans and the players was really strong, and something I've never really experienced as a player before. So and then, like I say, that sort of came to fruition even more over the summer and into the year and to the next year.
So you experienced that more at Town than anywhere else. The bond.
The bond between the players and the fans is not something that I think you could ever really get before. It was like we went on that amazing run that year, lost to Bristol Rovers, and it was incredible. So not really experienced, and something very.
I know we've got a great set of fans. We don't like to blow our own trumpet too much, but we'll take that.
The fans are unbelievable. It's it comes with its added pressure, of course, as well, especially in non-league, as we often took more than the home fans that were there. So that came with added pressure, but it was also great when things went well.
I know it's used as a bit of a derogatory term for smaller clubs, but did you sense sometimes the smaller clubs in the division felt it was a bit like a cup final for them to play Town?
Yeah, I think especially we found at home more than anything when someone came and sort of parked the bus against us. Yeah, put 10 on the ball. We sort of seemed to struggle quite a bit. I think remember teams like Hyde and teams like that used to come and stick on the ball and make it really difficult. So it was. I think it probably was. We were a big side in that division. It would have been a massive game for a lot of the smaller clubs in there.
Yeah, I remember a game against Hyde at home. I think we ended up beating them 1-0, but it was tough. And they were just digging in. And
I think to get into the playoffs, maybe I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah,
scored a goal, maybe I can't remember, but I'm sure that was one that lives in the memory.
Yeah, and you just think, wow, this Hyde, I think were pretty low in that league at the time, and they didn't look much better than what I'd seen on Sunday mornings in Grimsby.
Yeah.
And
I used to enjoy actually being a big fish in that league, really. From watching, it was always near the top, so it's quite nice to not be the bottom of the league.
Yeah.
And we're still watching a football game, and I used to enjoy it, but I always knew we had to get out of the league eventually.
Yeah.
But sort of tried to enjoy it while we was there, being a big team, like, and it was different times.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fans sort of enjoyed them non-league years, whether they
I did, yeah.
maybe not want to admit it, or I'm sure they enjoyed their away days and stuff like that. And,
I think we can admit it now. we don't want it in the future. In our futures.
We can remember time when we was in the Championship. When we was good, and back in the early 2000s, and the demise. But then I quite enjoyed the non-league equally, in a weird sort of way.
Yeah.
So
retrospectively, we can have that. And then the following season, we have a really good season, as you say. The plug at the top of the table stops. There being a sensible amount up and down between the getting back into the league, and we find ourselves in the playoffs again. But what a run through those playoffs! Highlights of that. I mean, for me, the game at Braintree where we finally got there. I remember you emotional on the pitch at full time. Have I remembered that right?
No, I think you've got that.
Was that crying, wasn't he?
Somewhere around, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with sharing your feelings, Craig. We're a big advocate of it on this pod.
Obviously that game was a struggle as well, especially up until we got the penalty.
Yeah.
We never looked like we were probably going to score, to be honest. I don't think we'd scored against them that whole season. Yeah. Excuse me, but then thankfully the referee made a good call for us.
What a refreshing change to see a referee give a penalty for a big shirt pull.
Yeah, it was fair play, because he could have easily missed that, and then we could have been talking about a whole different scenario for the season. So thankfully he saw it, and we managed to see the game out. And interview after was just, I think it was just I don't even know where it came from. It was just a whole load of emotion from. I think we'd been written off, I think, by a lot of people after that first leg. So it was just a huge relief, really. And I think after that we all sort of believed there was only going to be one winner in the playoff final. I know that's easher to say after you've won the game, but we were fully confident we'd go and do the job.
And I say that was other than getting us to the final, it was an exciting game to win it in the circumstances we did, with Hodge converting the penalty. You'd put your house on him scoring that, wouldn't you? And
best penalty though, I'll say.
No, it wasn't actually. In fairness, no.
It wasn't. No, I remember that.
I'd have still put my house on him scoring it, and I'd have been lucky. I'd have been lucky, but it wasn't his best. And then Omar getting the winner, who we talked about last week. Omar's just come back into the game, having had a spell out with mental health issues and addiction, which is nice to see him bouncing back from. I'm sure we should all mate well on that score as well.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, it's not something you'd even realise, but obviously, I watched his interview on Sky Sports, and it's something that's really important. So, fair play to him that he's come out and spoke about it, and if that helps one person moving forward, then it's definitely worth it. So, fair play to him.
We've tried to keep the sort of discussion about that sort of thing alive on the podcast, just in case anybody listening's going through anything that they know they're not on their own, and they should reach out. And even if they come on the podcast and have a moan with us, it's something to get out there and not be frightened of. So we end up moving on from Braintree back to Wembley against Forest Green, who are up and coming team from down south, Gloucestershire. That's an interesting ground of theirs that they've got. It was very very hard to find. I bet you're pleased you went on the bus when you went, Craig. You're playing them. How did you feel about the game before? You said you were confident after Braintree. Did that resonate when you got to the ground? Were you still?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember the build-up having too many nerves or anything really. I think we were all just really confident we'd we'd had good preparation in terms of leading up to the game. And I think when you score 2 goals like we did just before half time, sort of it kills any sort of nerves that you've got. Obviously, we made it a little bit scary for ourselves in the second half, but managed to see the game through. And you can't describe the feeling of that. And especially when Nathan scored the 3rd goal, I don't think there's any feeling that could come close. I think if you could sell that and bottle it, I think you'd be a very rich person, because it's absolutely incredible feeling and something that's very hard to describe. So amazing day.
Yeah, Nathan was challenged to put that into words last week when we spoke to him, and he's obviously remembered that very fondly, as you would. But what we saw in his celebration and yours is a complete release of all the pressure of the previous 6 years having gone down, and you could see it in all the fans in the terraces and the players on the pitch, and anybody else who was running around on the sidelines, to be honest, apart from Dave Moore, who was totally straight faced with a wry smile.
A little smile. So that's typical pro. So that sums him up as a person. But I think it meant just as much to him as anyone else, really. So amazing.
So having been 2-0 up, and they say 2-0 can be a bit of a funny scoreline, because if somebody gets a goal back, it makes it nervy. Was the second half nervy? When I was watching it, I didn't feel particularly nervy. I was backing us. It was lovely to get that 3rd goal, I must admit. Yeah,
I think obviously when you say he scored the worldie, hasn't he? He's put it into the top corner. You expect a little bit of an onslaught. I think I remember John Parkin had one good chance that he missed at 2-1. I think, but other than that, we were pretty comfortable actually, and sort of saw the game out pretty well. And obviously, the last minute, you're expecting John Nolan maybe to run into the corner, but he's decided to come in and give it to Pat, who's a bit of a long lost soul, Pat Hoban, who took the shot, and it's fell to Nath, who's done the job. So like I said, I was right behind Nathan in that moment, and he's kept composure well and scored the goal. And I say the celebrations, I think, like you say, I think it was just pure joy and release from everybody connected with the club that the half day was finally over.
And that meant the most to us, but for you, it meant lifting a trophy at Wembley. So how did that feel?
Mate, I was thinking about it, and I cannot remember it happening at all. I can't remember walking up the steps or lifting the trophy or anything. So if it wasn't on YouTube or wherever you could find it, I wouldn't believe that it actually happened. So to be the captain, to lift the trophy at Wembley for the club, it's something I'll never forget. And I think it's probably, well, if not definitely, the highlight of my career, 100%.
Yeah, so it certainly ranks high in the big games. And I think one of the things about supporting Grimsby, it's similar to what you mentioned about Mansfield, was that there's never a dull moment. We're up, down, playoff, cup finals, things like that often happen, and we've been through a lot, and even since then. But it's nice when those real iconic moments in the club's history, you're there right in the middle of it. But isn't it funny how your mind works, that you've got no memory much of it because you were such high on adrenaline, I guess, and post match energy sapped and the rest of it.
Yeah,
you struggle. It's strange. So what was next after that for you, Craig? Once you finished at Town, what was it? You stepped down to Alfreton after that, was it?
Yeah, I went to Alfreton with obviously John McDermott was the manager.
Yeah.
So I signed a 2-year deal there. But I think I sort of really struggled with the whole part-time football, to be honest. It was had gone from something that was my passion and everything for 20 years to lads that were maybe working and just playing football on the side, and it was, if you get beat, you get beat. It wasn't like the be all and end all what I was used to. So it was, looking back on it, I'd probably got quite low about the whole situation actually, and it wasn't a great time while I was there. So I did the first season, and then during the close season, a new manager came in, Lee Heath, and I was told I wasn't needed for the squad. Didn't even get invited back to pre-season training, so that was a bit of a kick in the teeth. But it was then it was just a case then of trying to sort something out, and obviously Cleethorpes came in and managed to take over the contract for the remaining of the season.
Yeah, and you ended up playing as well, didn't you?
Yeah, played it. Had a good year at Cleethorpes. Really enjoyed it. Actually, it was probably my favourite stint in the non-league. But like I say, I think generally though, on the whole, I think as soon as I went into part-time football, it became a little bit of a struggle, to be honest.
Yeah, because you're used to it, and it's professional, isn't it? You're used to being a professional, and I'd say once you're not around that anymore, and as you say, that's quite tough to take because you because of what you're used to. So how do you cope with that? What was your strategy for coping with it?
Certainly, since I've actually looked back on it, at the time I thought I was fine, and then would have people saying to my missus, "Is Craig all right? He looks a bit skinny. He's lost weight?" And it's like I was like thinking at the time, no, I was fine. But then looking back, I probably wasn't all right actually. Especially that first season. I think after that, when I sort of got into the mentality of it's part-time football, just go and play football and sort of enjoy it. I think it was okay after that, but I think that especially that first year, it was definitely a real struggle. I think just missing the camaraderie of the dressing room and the full-time training to go into, you hanging around all day to go training on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night. It was something I didn't adapt to very well in the start, but that's one of the things. And looking back, it was obviously a test for myself and one that I thankfully came through all right. Yeah,
it's good to see you out the right end of it. In terms of from a football perspective, we still see and hear from you regularly when you get alongside Matt Dean at the away games. You still enjoy doing those?
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, it's obviously I tried the coaching route when I first finished.
All right,
but it's not something that I really took to naturally. It's something I didn't actually really enjoy. So in the end, I decided to sort of knock it on the head, and the chance to do a bit of commentary with John Tonda to start with came around, and I really enjoy doing it. It's they normally get it when I get a call when it's Barrow away or Morecambe away or something. So say to the wife, "Do you fancy a trip to Barrow for the weekend?" So it's. But
Craig, you're really spoiling me, she says.
I love it. So and it's different just to see it from a different perspective and get on a game in that sense. So I really enjoy doing it.
It's a pity you didn't get Western Supermare away. Would have gone all the way down there.
So we'll see if that happens or not.
You could have gone and seen some old mates down in Bristol. Talking of Bristol, what's your take on the situation they're in at the minute? 9 games without a win, 9 defeats in a row. Actually, worse than 9 without a win. What's your view on that?
Yeah, really. Obviously, it's a club that's close to my heart as well. So really sad to see him struggling, especially. Darryl Clark's the manager. I know someone very well. He was the sort of person whose place I sort of took in the first team at Mansfield when I broke through. So, but he still talks to me. Yeah, but obviously I watched his interview after the game last night, and you can tell he's hurting.
Was on the edge, wasn't
he? I think he's sort of inherited a team that probably he thinks maybe the club is too big a club to play for, because having played down there, if things aren't going well, it is a very, very tough place to play your football. So maybe that's the case. So I hope he sticks it out. I hope they turn it round, and because he's a good manager who's done really well there. So fingers crossed he'll stick it out and he can turn it around for him.
He sounded like a fan that was being interviewed. He was that passionate about it.
Yeah,
and he was almost holding himself back, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he probably wanted to say a few more things, and I think he said, didn't he? I better not say what I really want to say. So I'm sure he's a fiery character, so I'm sure he let the players know in certain terms after the game what he thought about it. but yeah, I just say I hope he gets the chance to get his own players and turn it around for the club, because it's real sad to see the state they're in at the minute.
It looks like they're giving him time, because there's managers that have gone by now. Do you think they will? I mean, what's your take? I mean, not
it's one of them. You could easily turn around tomorrow morning and he could have been. He can be sacked, couldn't he? So, but I think it's whether the reading through the lines, if the club can afford to sack him, or he'd have enough and walk away. But I don't think he would. I don't think he's that sort of person. So like I say, hopefully he gets the time to turn it around and
I don't get the impression he's about to walk away, but he's I just my view is I think they can probably see what he's got and that he's not happy with, and they're probably going to give him time till January. But like you say, tomorrow morning could be all a bit different, couldn't it?
Yeah, that's football.
Yeah, you don't know what conversations going in the background and what arguments happen and what have you. But certainly not where they want to be. They were certainly one of our tips to be up near the top and challenging. So
yeah, never mind. Fingers crossed they'll turn it around a little bit.
Yeah. So thank you for running us through. Have we missed anything obvious that we should have been asking you about that we?
Not
that I can think of. It's
what your best goal was? What's your best memory of your favourite goal?
To be fair, I get asked this question a lot, and I think I change my answer every time I answer it. So.
Just get the tombola out of the YouTube reel out and pick one out.
No, I'll say something and I'll think, then I remember another goal. I think one of my favourites is probably Forest Green when we beat them 1-0 in Forest Green. I think it was the game was on the telly. I don't know what channel it was back then, but I managed to score the winner in 1-0. So it probably wasn't my best goal in terms of goal, but it's definitely my favourite in terms of the context of the league and a 1-0 win away from home and being on telly, etc. So that was what I really enjoyed.
We were chatting about your goals before we came on, and that was the one I was talking about. Yeah, so it's funny enough you remember these things.
Yeah.
So we're going to release Rossi onto you now with his new experimental question to see how it lands with the footballer. Over to you, Rossi.
Yeah, I won't try not to put you on the spot, but I am going to do. Can you name, with the players you've played with, a five-a-side side, so a goalkeeper, one defender, two midfielders and a striker, and the manager you've played under, who you think is probably the best player or best players you played with, and the best manager?
God. Right.
No pressure.
Got him.
Goalie. I'll have to go. I'll go Macca for my goalie. I think I've got to. He's obviously a good mate of mine, and played together for a long time.
I was going to say, how many games did you two play together? He was the record holder, isn't he, at Town?
Yeah, So for the whole 6 years that I was there, he was number one the whole time, barring a bit of a stint when Dean Henderson came in, obviously for a few. So we played probably the majority of all my games would have been with Macca. So I think I've got to put him as goalie, that's for sure.
And Hendo didn't go on to do much, did he?
No, he struggled. I think defender. I think I'll go for a lad called Steve Elliott, who was at Bristol Rovers. No, he was obviously at Derby, played in Derby in the Premier League. He was a big, no-nonsense centre-half, lovely left foot for a centre-back as well, and he could spray it all over the park. So, I think he definitely my one defender.
Good feet for a big lad.
For a big lad, yeah. Two midfielders,
yeah.
I think one's going to have to be Stuart Campbell, obviously someone you'll know as well, who played at Bristol Rovers. We were, a midfield partnership. The year we got promoted, and he was absolutely unbelievable for us. Them couple of years when I played with him. So he was our captain and our leader as well. So I'd have to say Stuart Campbell, I think, for one place.
When you've got a midfielder like that alongside you, Craig, how much easier does it make your life when you're looking at your own game?
Yeah, I think I think, say back when I was younger, it was always a 4-4-2. It was, you'd never have to worry about formation. So like it's like me and Stuart were in midfield. We knew if one went forward, one sat, and vice versa. And he was playing some great football as well. So that confidence sort of breeds through you as well, if you like, and it gives you that confidence to maybe try things you might not try in games, or get into the box when you might not be feeling like you need to get in there. So I think it's definitely, if someone's playing well and sort of an inspiration on the pitch, it sort of definitely rubs off on your teammates 100%.
Yeah, I remember him playing for Town. Really good player. Remember him playing in the Anfield game at Liverpool that night when we beat them, 2001.
Not bad.
I think he put the cross in for the first goal, if I remember.
I think he was more of a wide man, I think, when he was obviously...
He was down the right, yeah, and he put the ball in for our first goal.
Yeah, and he started it on the wing at Bristol Rovers, I think, when he first came, but then he got moved inside, and thought he was a revelation after moving into centre midfield. So.
Yeah, he was a fantastic player.
Yeah, unbelievable. So.
Sorry, we distracted you from your other midfielder. I do apologise. Sorry, Rossi.
Craig Disley.
They got centre midfielder, or is it a winger, or is it... I don't...
It could be a centre mid, CDM, winger.
I'll go with Lee Williamson at Mansfield Town. I don't know if that's someone you know. He went on to a good career at Sheffield United, Rotherham, Blackburn. We broke through the youth team at the same time. He was a year below me, but we sort of broke into the first team at the same time, and was part of the young squad we had that got promoted in that first full season at Mansfield. And he was an unbelievable player. He technically brilliant on the ball, and didn't score a lot of goals, etc., but was always someone who had unbelievable feet for a centre midfielder, and obviously went on to have a great career as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And striker.
Yeah, just the one.
I could say quite a few of these. Special mentions for Podge, Liam Hearn, who I think, if he hadn't got injured, would have been an unbelievable player and would have gone on to big things, I think.
He played a one-off charity match at Blundell Park a few years after he finished and still looked good, didn't he?
Yeah, I played in that game as well.
Yeah.
He scored 5 goals or something like that, and he was like,
yeah,
he was incredible in that first year he came to us. So, like I say, if
fantastic.
He would have definitely gone to bigger things, 100%. But I'm gonna have to go for Ricky Lambert, who I played with at Bristol Rovers again. Unbelievable, scored some of the best goals I've ever seen on a football pitch. Absolutely hammer of a right foot. He actually really struggled when he first came to the club. He came as a record signing, and didn't get off the mark. So I think about Christmas time in his first season, but after that he was absolutely unbelievable. And again, he's gone on to have a great career, and someone who's he's got some different views nowadays. He's certainly ruffling a few feathers in the world of Twitter, etc. So
is he?
He's a bit of a conspiracy theorist nowadays.
Is he?
Have a look and watch from afar. Yeah.
Was it Ricky Lambert when he went to Liverpool? It was lad.
Yeah.
Comes from paint factory or something and made good. I can't remember. Something about where he'd worked was the big story. I can't remember.
He was like I say.
You knew where the goal was.
Yeah, he certainly knew where the goal was at Southampton. 100 goals.
He scored with his first touch for England as well, didn't he?
That's right. Yes, I remember that now. Yeah.
That's quite a claim.
Yeah.
And who would you say your manager is? I know it's probably hard, but
I would probably say Hursty, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's definitely been a huge influence on my career. And he was someone I really enjoyed playing for. Someone that got you up for a game, and to be fair, Hursty, I wouldn't say he was a tactical genius or anything like that by any means, but he was someone who got players playing for each other and playing for him and playing for the club, because you'd run through brick walls for Hursty, and that's just the kind of character he was, and he brought good guys in that wanted to do well for him and do well for the club. So I think it was I'd definitely say Hursty, and really enjoyed playing for him.
I'm not sure that as fans we see the real Paul Hurst. What's the real Paul Hurst like? Because I always thought he was a bit guarded with fans and a bit calm, let's say.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of a strange relationship, didn't he, with the Grimsby fans? I think. But yeah, he was no nonsense. He wouldn't take any rubbish or anything like that. He just wanted you to give 100%, and he just had a way to motivate the team and motivate the players to play for him and want to do well for him, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do well for him. You'd know if things weren't going right, you'd get a rollicking in the right way, and he was a winner, and he used to join in training every now and again, and he'd think nothing of topping someone in a training session. He'd go straight over someone, no problem. So yeah, that's his mentality. He was a winner, and he wanted the team to do well, and even in training, if he was doing it, he'd take someone out, no problem.
Yeah, I think from our perspective, I think his calmness when we weren't calm was probably part of the reason why some people didn't take to him.
That's what I liked about him. It was just the same.
Yeah.
Whether we won, lost, or whatever, he was still calm.
Yeah.
And I like that.
But I think, Steve, some people don't like that. I think some people want to see
the
manager ranting and raving when it's not going well. Like it,
when he starts to sell, was it Wembley? Was it Wembley or the last West Ham's ground when we went up and when we got the winner, and he started to get quite excited. Then he thought, "Oh, hang on, calm down." He sort of pulled himself down a few notches and then had a go at somebody in the stand.
But it was great to see him come back and get us back out again. Get us back out there.
Yeah, he's a winner.
We've got nothing to. He doesn't owe us anything to be. He's done a brilliant job for Grimsby. Both times he's been here, and it was a bit of a shame, really, how it all sort of finished. But as you said earlier, Craig, that's football, isn't it? There's things always move around, whether it's quickly or slowly. There's a constant revolution, isn't there, in football?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just the way it is. You can say you could be the cream of the crop one week and then out of a job the next. That's just the way football works. It's ruthless business, but I think it's the same for players. I think in terms of when these contracts come to an end, etc. It's sort of thanks and see you later sometimes. But that's the beast of football, unfortunately.
So, Craig, are you still watch a lot of football, or is it as a professional? Is it like a busman's holiday watching a football match, or can you still enjoy it?
I still love watching the game. Obviously, it's there's no pressure on me watching football now. I just go to watch. I'll go to the town games when I can. I'll go and watch market racing down at the pitch on a Saturday if I can. Or watch the Champions League on telly tonight. So I just love football and just love watching the game. So I don't think when you've been in it for 20, 25 years, it's not something you can just switch off. But no, football's been my life, and I think it will be until the day I die. So yeah, just love the game. Really simple as that.
What do you make of the Mariners' season so far?
Frustrating, I think. I think if you look at it at the moment, it's sort of a chance missed. I think the gap now is starting to just grow a little bit, isn't it, from the playoffs and the top of the league? And I think where we could have been if we'd have had some better results in the last 5 or 6 weeks, you could be sitting top of the league now comfortably. So I think it'll definitely be a case of frustration and chance missed if we allow that gap to grow and don't at least cement a playoff place this year, because I think it's no disrespect. It's the best league or the best standard this year in League Two. So I think if you can put any sort of run together, I think you'll be right up there. So, but I still believe in David and Sean will get us right, because the team, I think in general, plays some good stuff. It's just that consistency of getting results together to really kick on a good run again.
Yeah, I think that's we're a bit like that. As fans, we can see the improvement. We can even see the fact that over the last 6 games, even though we haven't won, we've definitely been the better side in most games and kicking ourselves not to win it. So we kind of see the same thing that David sees. frustration that fans is we're not rational people. We get frustrated and rant, and so yeah. As long as the gap doesn't get too much more, I think we'll be okay. But now is the time to kick back on, isn't it, and get back to some of that early season form.
Yeah, the last 2 games I saw properly was obviously Barrow, which I commentated on, and the Chesterfield game, which I commentated on. We got 1 point, should have got 6 points. Yeah, comfortably out of the game. So it's fine margins, and I think if the team was playing poorly, you'd be a bit more concerned. But that's not the case. It's just that maybe 5-10% just to turn them defeats into draws and then draws into wins, really. I think, and then we'll be looking up. Yeah,
and you get invited back by the club regularly to as a guest, and we're seeing you in the pontoon walking around at half time or whenever it is to give the prizes out.
Been invited back this weekend, so
all right, okay.
So I'm there for the county game. So looking forward to that. So it's
a big one.
It's always nice to get a free meal out of the club if I can. So we'll enjoy the fishing.
Well, we chatted with Polly, and last week we asked her what if she'd got any regrets about any decisions she'd have made differently, and she tinkered with the menu and took fish and chips off in the in the directors area. And Andrew, being the great leader he did, let her crash and burn, and I think it lasted 1 game. But she was
soon get back to it,
don't mess with the fish and chips in Grimsby. You'll be in bother. Craig, it's been an absolute pleasure. Just want to check in with the guys. Is there anything else you want to ask, Craig?
No, I think everything's been covered.
No, just it was a pleasure watching you play for Grimsby.
Absolutely, yeah.
Personally, I enjoyed watching some of your games, and I just had a note here. 1 game I remember Lincoln away when we went down to 10 men, and we drew the game in the end. Just remember your performance that night was fantastic. Was it Josh Gowling got sent off, didn't he?
Was it Matt Reid who was cheating as normal? But
Matt Reid was cheating, and then he scored the penalty after Josh. And then I can remember you and Macca was. At least you two were trying to stop the town fans coming onto the pitch to get you.
We had some great games against Lincoln, didn't we?
I love the Lincoln games, and that game was just 1 game was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think I remember because obviously they played no football whatsoever, even though they had an extra sort of. Like you say, I remember playing off the park with 10 men, and it was I think Omar scored the goal for us, didn't he? And
Omar scored an overhead kick.
Yeah, it was obviously a great goal, and yes, I can remember seeing the celebrations, absolutely crazy. So it's obviously I used to love the Lincoln games. They're really ones that we used to look forward to.
Lincoln and Scunny, we definitely miss them sort of games, don't we? Closest we've had recently.
I miss the Lincoln games more than anything. It was
the Donny, Lincoln, and Scunny were the ones that we had Doncaster last year, and that was always a good one. But,
well, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
fingers get promoted then, and Lincoln stay where they are. So
that would be good. Yeah,
I mean,
game back.
Our league this year, probably Barrow and 1 or 2 Notts County permitting. It's like the Southern League this year, isn't it?
Mm. But do remember that game. That was 10 years ago. That Lincoln game. I had a quick look today.
So was that yesterday?
2015. So it was our promotion season because it was in August.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Crazy way time goes. It's just it's unbelievable.
But it was a pleasure watching you play, Craig.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you for that. And you've been incredibly generous with your time today for this episode. So we thank you for coming on. And
you're welcome.
We'll leave it there, Craig. You're welcome back anytime.
Yeah. Well, whenever if you ever want to chat, just let me know. I'll be back on.
So really enjoyed that chat with Craig, guys. It was great to get him on. What are your thoughts on what he had to say to us? It's interesting stuff. From the footballer's point of view.
Yeah, it's good, wasn't it? Took a while for me to get him on.
You haven't been.
Craig.
You've been with us just a few weeks, and we've had Mike Brolly, Nathan Arnold and Craig Disley, so we can't complain about how long it took you to get him on. It wasn't that long.
No, you can't complain about that.
It wasn't that long.
He's a good lad, he's Craig. No, it's nice. Again, nice to hear some stories from back in the day and how he felt and how he got on with the Forest Green match and just back in the day with all the other clubs he's been at and who he's played with as well. I didn't realise he'd played with Ricky Lambert as well.
Yeah.
Obviously put him in his in the five-a-side team that he's done. So it's mental.
And you remember I asked him if there was some story about when he got through at Liverpool and started playing for England, that it was a rags to riches story about him starting at some factory. It was a beetroot factory, as it turns out. I knew there was an odd thing. It was beetroot. He put the jars on lids on beetroot jars, apparently. So now as a conspiracy theorist, look, I can say it. As a conspiracy theorist, he's a conspiracy theorist now, apparently.
It's easy for you.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So he's in that Bristol Rovers time. That was also made his name, wasn't he? Southampton, Bristol Rovers. And it gave us some good memories of yesteryear when Town were doing well in the non-league. A bit of an admission from Steve that enjoyed some of the games in the non-league, even though we wouldn't say that now.
I did enjoy some of the games in non-league. It was a good.
As I said when we went down. Sorry, Steve. Go on.
No, I say you had to, get used to it being in that league, and we had some good game with big fish in that league, and it was frustrating sometimes, but I did enjoy some of the games we had.
And as I said to people when we went down, if you love Town and you follow Town, it doesn't matter what league they're in, you support them wherever they are. And I said it's the same to a lass at work who, Georgina, Carlisle fan. When they went down, I said, "Look, you're a Carlisle fan. You support Carlisle. You'll still be supporting Carlisle.
Yeah,
and you'll be pushing for them to get back up. And
you're still going to watch a football game, aren't you? And
exactly. And it's your team.
Yeah, that's it. So,
do you two feel now? I think I've asked you this before, to be fair, but you can tell me again. Do you two feel now it is time though for the 3 up, 3 down?
I think morally, yes. Turkey's voting for Christmas, no.
Yeah.
But when we were down there, I'd have said the opposite. Morally, yes, and we should do it, yes. But yeah,
I think it'd be better for league. Well, both leagues. It'd be better for League Two. You've got another team coming up that you might not usually see, and
but let's be honest though. It'd need to be better run. It needs to be a bit more. I mean, it'd be nice to say let's have EFL Division 5, League 3, if you like. That'd be a bit of a departure. But has it got enough big teams to sustain that? It did have not long ago, but yeah. There's still some big ex-league clubs in there.
Well, there's what's the name, Robbie Savage, isn't he? Is he Forest Green now?
Yeah. I mean, you can argue
he's calling for it. It's about time it should be 3 up.
Yeah, I bet he wasn't before.
He probably didn't have no idea how strong the league was.
We wouldn't even have been aware of it. But yeah, I think morally, yes. But I think it'd have to be a more professional league, more professionally run now, and maybe even EFL League 3 for me, for it to be at that. And I'm not sure whether it can sustain that. But maybe it would help sustain it. I mean, there's enough clubs struggling, isn't there? I mean, I was reading last week, was it somebody in League One, and I can't remember, no, not League One, Championship, had to inject £4.5 million into the club just to keep the bills paid. It was a run-of-the-mill Championship side. And we know from Kieran Maguire that the costs of going up, $600,000 a week extra in League One and multi-millions of pounds a year in the Championship just to survive. And you can see even Wrexham now. Even they've found a level now, aren't they, where they're not just riding roughshod over everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ross.
As we speak now, Rochdale are top of the National League.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind seeing Rochdale come up.
Well, they're a traditional league. So they're a low-end league side, but they've always been a league side. York City's another one. Who they were always a league club, Steve, when we was kids, weren't they?
Yeah. No, the only thing I think is I feel sorry for the clubs that get like York last year. They ended up not coming up, and the team that came up had, God knows, 25 points or something less than them in the league. But that's the rules. and you set off.
Yeah.
So you got, that's it.
Yeah.
So it's the way it is. I mean, I don't know. There's two come up. A third one. No, I'll keep it as it is. Now, wait till we get back in the National League. I'll change.
Yeah, and Robbie Savage
I'll go up to League One, so I don't have to worry get relegated from League Two.
Yeah, we can say about 5 up, 5 down.
Yeah.
So tough game next week. We said that for the last few weeks. We need to get back on the horse. There's still only a few. Was it 5 points to the playoffs still? In such a tight league, a couple of wins could have us up the table. I remember last year we were in 8th or 9th coming up to Christmas, and we won 2 or 3 games, and we didn't move. And then I think one draw later in the in sort of January, February time, one draw took us from like 7th to 4th or something stupid. So there's always that tightness. But if we don't start turning some scores in soon, we're gonna struggle. So on that, we'll leave it there. Great to have Craig on. Thanks to Craig for coming on, and we'll look forward to next week. And just before we go, we'll have to give it the old get the right button. Oh, the Mariners!
Not Mariners.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's Three Fish on the Shirt, your ultimate Grimsby Town podcast. Thanks for tuning in and being part of our community, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcast, through Amazon, Audible, Spotify, iHeartRadio or Podchaser, or anywhere else you get your podcasts from. If you're loving what we're doing and want more match analyses, in-depth discussions, exclusive interviews, then just hit subscribe. It's completely free and it helps us grow to bring you even better content, and it keeps that Mariners conversation alive. If you want to listen on the go, just ask your smart speaker to search for Three Fish on the Shirt, Grimsby Town Podcast, or find us at any of the podcast locations we've already mentioned. Drop a comment, leave a review, and share the pod with fellow Mariners, because football's always better when we talk about it together. Until next time, up the Mariners!
In